Hello? Hello? I think we are. Oh, I need to send out tweets and stuff. Hold on. There's one. There's another. And there's the third. Okay, cool. Hello, everyone. It's thomasjujube, and welcome to, I would like to say, monthly live stream that I usually do, but we've been very behind lately because I've been busy. So I apologize for the lack of everything, but I'm here now. And as you can tell, I saw someone ask, what is this about? Someone asked. And I mean, it's in the title and the thumbnail. But we're gonna talk about the normal stuff. We got a bunch of a ton of like Geats news, a little bit of Donbrothers news. We had a week break from both episodes, so I guess there's not really anything new to talk about there. But I do think I want to talk a bit about the rumors. There's been a bunch of rumors and stuff for definitely for Geats for sure. I want to talk about all the Geats rumors. I'm gonna check right now if. Or no, there's a bit for Donbrothers as well, but I forget when King-Ohger was trademarked, and I don't know if I've actually spoken about it. And if I have, I don't think like any of the rumors were a thing yet. So let me go and double check right now. In the meantime, let me know how you're doing in the chat. Let's see, King-Ohger. Oh, okay, yeah, I've definitely talked about King-Ohger, I think. Let me just triple check. Yeah, okay. Yeah, King-Ohger was just newly trademarked the last time I streamed. However, I think a lot of those rumors there's been a bunch of rumors since then, so we can talk about that. So, who's here? Let's see. Hello. Oh yes. Thank you for. I mean, no one said this, but this did remind me. In the description, of course, There's a couple links for all the images I'll be using. We're only going to talk about Geats and Donbrothers because Ultraman. I haven't been watching Decker, so I can't really talk about this show. There's no new suit I can talk about, so I can't really contribute to that at all. And in Power Rangers, there's nothing new. Frick Power Rangers. Power Rangers sucks. Okay, so who's here? We got hello Kawaii Luna Moon Fresh Orange Neurotoxin says Amogus. I agree. Yes, Hayden reviews. I am very excited for the second arc of Geats. Hello Galaxy Jeremiah Hembry. Hello Kami. That man 666. Hello. Oh, I love when the chat refreshes temporarily. Hello Sir Queu. Fernando Mosquera says hello Thomas the man. Hello Fernando Mosquera the man. I assume you're a man because there's a man in your profile picture. Hello Big T Studios. Hello Galaxy. Hello Aaron Tan. Hello. Is that supposed to be a latte bread? Because there's a 3, which was at the end of LATT, so it could be like latte. But hello Spider Guy. Hello Void. Hello Secret Agent. Next video coming along well. No. I will be posting actually some stuff for that on Patreon. I'll let you guys know right now because it's been a while. Next video is gonna either be Vulcan and Valkyrie review because I still haven't reviewed that stupid movie. Bit of a spoilers for it. I hate that movie, so it's gonna be a very angry review. It's either gonna be that or the Sentai Potential Maji Ranger I said I was doing at the beginning of the year. So one of those two. Actually, you can let me know now which one you'd like to see first, but I'll definitely be putting previews up for that on Patreon here soon. So, that's what's coming up. Hello, Marcos. He says, yeah, didn't say M. I'm very surprised. Hello, Ekinlee. Hello, Toa Brony. You don't have to stay if it's like late where you are. It's fine. The stream will stay up. Actually, I might unlist all my old live streams because YouTube changed the way the live streams show up, and they're now under their own tab. I always had them like unlisted, but then like they were publicly available in a playlist. But I might just get rid of that playlist and keep them all public. I did not think about that. I'm gonna write that down now before I forget. Unlist live streams. Not that it matters, but there you go. Okay. Oh yeah, and then Kevin Conway died. Is it someone said Conway, but isn't it Conroy? It is Conroy. How could you lie to me, Jeremiah Hembry, and say the wrong name? But yes, Kevin Conroy died. Very sad. I'm not alone in this, but I probably would say that he's my favorite Batman, because I really liked the voice. I mean, okay, that's what he does, but I mean, I really like when a Batman can have the Bruce Wayne voice and Batman voice be completely different, and I felt like he was the best embodiment of that. Because like even the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, which I would say is my favorite Batman movie, I feel like he didn't have a very interesting switch between the two voices. He was just kind of the same like grumpy voice. And I know someone's going to be like, well, it's only his second year as Batman. That doesn't matter. All my friends have said that to me, and I'm like, guys, he could still have a Batman voice. It's fine. So, Galaxy says, thought you were getting all the Geats stuff. I am. If you don't follow me on Twitter, or I'm not sure, and Discord, then it makes sense you don't know about this, but I'm still waiting on the US release of so the Desire Driver I bought from Amazon Japan. So that's why I got here quickly. But the rest of the Wave 1 stuff, the Zombie Buckle, the Magnum Shooter, the other buckles, I got them from Toku Collectibles from the US release, because I wanted to support the US release of Kamen Rider stuff for the first time. That stuff is still not arrived. They still haven't, as far as I know, Toku Collectibles still hasn't received the US shipment. So the reason I haven't unboxed those is because I don't have those. It's literally, I still don't have those toys. I'm not going to buy it again to get it faster because I've already bought it. So I'm just waiting on those to arrive. So trust me, I am probably more frustrated than you guys waiting for that video to get the stuff I paid for. So, and I don't want to buy the Japanese release of any of the other stuff before I get the US release stuff of this stuff. So I'm basically just waiting on the US release of this, and then I'm probably just gonna switch to the Japanese releases now, because I'm very tired of waiting. So Not a Good Gamer asks, what is your favorite Raise buckle so far? I'm actually we're going to talk about that in today's stream. So, hello Darth Wang, or should I salutations, as he says. When am I going to play the season of Minecraft Kamen Rider mod and Super Sentai mod on your channel? I don't know. I don't really plan on playing Minecraft stuff anymore for the time being. What are my thoughts on Beat having the first good standby of the season? I mean, true, I can't really argue with that, because nothing else has a standby. So, okay, so let's, oh, wait, someone asked, Mochi asked, not sure if you've seen it, but since you're the biggest Cross fan, I want to know if you've seen the third-party prop-size Cross Saber on Buyee. I will be right back. We are going to Buyee.com right now to confirm this information. Okay, it's not showing up for Kamen Rider Saber, so I will have to look into this later. However, thank you for letting me know. I will look into that, even though I probably won't get it because it will be very expensive. So, new stuff. Kamen Rider Geats news stuff. That's it. So this is our first big, in quotation marks, upgrade of the season. I think this is called the Fever Slot Raise Buckle, and I won't talk about it now because we're gonna look at it later. So, oh no, it's just right here. Okay, we can talk about it now. I'm actually gonna make this a bit larger. There you go. No, that's the exact opposite I wanted to do. Technical difficulties. There we go. Okay. This is the Fever Slot Raise Buckle, and this is a really cool buckle. So the way we're told it's going to work is that it's a random raise buckle. That's pretty much all it is. Essentially, if a Geats in any rider, because we see Buffa is going to be using it at least once. If any rider puts it on, and then you spin it, because it's like a slot machine, it's gonna just select a random raise buckle that they can get. That's it. It's just gonna give them a random raise buckle. So the way they're marketing this as the big power up is that Geats can cheat a little bit, I guess, and when he at least we've seen in both instances he uses it doubles up, so it gives him the top half of the other buckles he's already using. So we get Magnum, we're going to be getting Magnum, and Boost. I'm not sure that's what they're actually going to be called, or if they have like something else like Fever Magnum, Fever Boost, something like that. But I mean, they are effectively Magnum, Boost. And it's like a really funny, like, I don't know, I mean, like, to me it's really funny because, like, every time we get a rider where they have like multiple combo forms like this, we end up getting like some kind of form where they double up the stuff. So build, we got Rabbit, Tank, even Cross, as early as Cross we got like Dragon essentially is what Cross is. Build, we got Kamen Rider Joker and Cyclone. Saber we got like the triple book forms. I'm not sure if that counts. But we always end up getting stuff like that. And I think it's funny that Geats just got it out of the way in quarter one. It's just one of the power up items, but I like that it's not it isn't just give him Magnum because he has Magnum on the bottom. Like, it is a random thing. Like Buffa using Beat and Zombie, but he's not actually using Beat, he's using the Fever Slot buckle, and it's giving him Beat like as a random item. That is super cool to me. And I think, as we can see, in this image, you can see in the top left that Punk Jack is going to be using it as well. So he's going to be using Monster's legs, and he gets a ninja torso, but it's because he's using the Fever Slot buckle. So I think that's super cool. I really, it lends itself so well to the theming of the season, where it's like everyone is all these items are just like weapons in a game, right? Like, these are like Magnum's just like a random little gun in this game or something. They're playing a game essentially, and these are all little items they can use in the game. So making just a random item is a super cool thing. It fits right in. And as you can see in this image, I'll move so you can see a little better, it's even gonna work with the armed buckles. So we're gonna get Geats Drill Magnum, but he's using the Fever Slot buckle. So I mean, that just adds, like, adding the armed buckles into it just like somehow makes it even better because it's like another layer of like all the combo possibilities that the toys of the season could do. Now there's just this other buckle that can do all of them. So I think it's so cool. I can't wait to see. I really want to see how it comes about, because it seems like it's another like super powerful item like Boost. So I wonder, like, I don't, like, is it does it work kind of like Boost, where it disappears after its first usage, or after its only usage, I guess? Is it like, I mean, how do they get it? Like, I mean, I guess Boost, for being the rare item, Boost has kind of been, like, acquired very easily. So maybe it's the same. You just do a secret mission and bam, now you got the Fever Slot buckle. But also, like, I wonder how, like, why is it here now? Like, Monster and Ninja kind of have come out of, like, nowhere, per se. Or not, they haven't come out of nowhere, but, like, they came in at the end of this first round of the Desire Grand Prix, kind of, like, to stop the final boss, I guess. And now we're getting, like, new buckles, like Beat and this thing. So it makes me wonder, like, were they always part of, like, the game mechanics? And if so, like, why are they only appearing now? Or, you know, is there something else going on? I mean, I can imagine with this, there's something else going on. But what is going on? And as everyone's been saying, it's a Hyper Muteki race buckle. I think we have a picture of the toy. Here we go. It has the stars from Hyper Muteki on it. So it's literally, like, it's for me. It's the Hyper Muteki race buckle. So it's automatically, actually, this one might be my favorite race buckle. I was going to say Beat's my new favorite. Actually, I don't know. I really like Beat. I'll have to see them in action, I guess, to come to a definitive conclusion on that. Also because, another thing I really like about this is I actually love this, is the little slot machine, like, symbol. They're kind of highlighting it here, where it says Magnum. And that shows, like, what buckle's been selected from the machine. So they're saying that, they have, yeah, it's self-explanatory. And then on this picture, you can actually see in the back, behind Fever Magnum and Fever Boost, or whatever they're called, you can actually see all the little symbols in it. You can see Magnum, top left, on the left are Magnum, Zombie, Ninja, and then on the right is the question marks, Beat, and Monster. So they've said that, on this image too, they show that basically the question marks are like any random thing. So it's either Boost, or it's one of the armed buckles, I believe. Or I think it's like that. And then obviously, if it lands on the symbol of a big buckle, it's gonna be that big buckle. So I don't know, that, like, adds another layer to this, like, how cool this is, because it's kind of like those big word things that appear when they henshin are kind of like this season's version of, like, the Gashat art text or the Wonder Ride book text, in my opinion. So incorporating them into the buckle is, like, so unique, because it just shows how personalized, like, the season's aesthetics are, because none of these symbols really look similar. Like, Ninja and Zombie look totally different from each other, and they're both, like, in this buckle. Like, they both have little art in this buckle. It's so cool. I can't wait for the toy to come out, because I'm really interested, like, if it's gonna make Magnum sounds if you land on Magnum, and stuff like that. So, and also it's gonna be our first buckle that I think completely shuts up the belts. Like, the belt, like Beat has sounds in it, but the belt's still making all the Beat jingles, like the main Beat jingle. But this thing, the belt has no sounds for it. It's gonna make all the sounds itself. So I really want to see how it's gonna work for the first time with the toys. So, what have you guys been saying? Oh yeah, the one other thing too I really like is that they're establishing, like, if you do match the two buckles, the form changes a bit, because Beat or Geats, he gets this gold scarf, and the eyes turn yellow. So for Boost, it looks kind of normal, because the eyes are always yellow. But for Magnum, it looks kind of cursed, because now his eyes are yellow with the Magnum top half, which is not how that usually works. So I think that just adds another, like, cool little thing to, like, show that if it doubles up, it is special. But like, obviously Buffa can use it, and it just gives him Beat. And this makes me wonder another thing too, about, like, the compatibility of the buckles in universe, because this is the first time we're seeing characters use two. Well, actually, no. Obviously, Boost so far has been the only buckle we've seen characters use with another big buckle, even though Geats was fully capable of using like Ninja Magnum in the latest episodes when he got the ninja buckle, and he didn't. So, like, is it possible that like only certain buckles can actually use the same belt? Or sorry, is it possible that like only certain buckles can actually be used together? Like could Ninja Zombie not even work? I don't know why I picked. Oh, it's because Ninja Zombie's one of the toys. But like, could Ninja Zombie not even work, or something like Ninja Monster? Like, could Punkjack actually never use Ninja Monster unless the ninja top half is coming from the Fever buckle, or vice versa? Is the Fever buckle even allowed to be used on the bottom? Because so far we've only seen it on the top. So, I don't know. That's just one thing I wonder as well. Like, I mean, it's not really a big deal, but it kind of makes me curious, I guess. Like, can Buffa even use Beat Zombie with the normal Beat buckle, or is it only possible if he uses the Fever slot buckle? So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they'll answer that, but maybe it's kind of implied that like that's just how this universe works. You can't use two big buckles together unless it's something like Boost or Fever slot that are specifically designed to use another buckle. It also makes me wonder, can you just use Fever slot on its own? We haven't seen anyone use Fever slot on its own. So maybe you have to use it with another one? I don't know. I'm very curious about some of the world of Geats and how it works. Oh yeah, this is stuff for next episode. I'll talk about it in a second. Yes, the belt does have the hyper sound effect, but the hyper sound effect only happens for a finisher if he's using another buckle. Other than that, like the henshin itself, the belt makes no sounds for it. So this is the first buckle where the henshin has no sounds for it. Am I getting Soto sets? I am not. I like Soto. I have a few Sotos, but for Geats at least, the Sotos look fine. But I'd really like Geats figures that do the cool gimmicks that the Geats figures do, which is the mix and match. And the Sotos don't really do that for me. Like, you can switch the top halves, but it doesn't. It's not the same for me. So I like the revolve chain triggers look a bit wonky, but they can actually do the reverse half combinations. So I will be getting those, but I will not be getting the Sotos unless there's like a figure I really, really want, and then I'll get the Soto, I guess. Oh yeah, Zenon Omega points out, strange how Fantasy is not even on the Fever buckle. I think it might be. I'm on this image for that because if you look on the below the picture, they're making a big deal like secret, and I translated the text and they say like, what else is in the Fever slot buckle? Like, what other images? And like, they could be talking about the other big buckles that we already know about, and they're like, are those in it? And it's like, yes, they are in it. You literally show us them in this picture. You can see all of the images in the background. Or could it be like, or yeah, even here we see Beat Zombie, and you can look at his belt and you can see the Beat logo. So it's like, it's not a secret, guys. We know the other buckles are in here. So it could be that, or it could actually be they're keeping Fantasy a secret. So Fantasy could be in it, because I believe I've seen some people speculating that Fantasy could be the buckle for our movie Rider in December, the crossover movie. So if he is the crossover movie Rider, we would probably know about him by like the end of November, because the movie comes out, I believe, the beginning of December. No, actually it comes out the end of December, but we could reasonably know about the rider by the end of November. And then if he's using fantasy, we'd already know about fantasy, and then they could put the picture for fantasy in the belt, so, or in the toy. So yeah, I mean, it could be fantasy. I do agree though. I hope they do put fantasy in there, because that would make it the only big buckle that's not a boost mark something that's just not in here, and that's kind of awkward. But maybe fantasy is like a special unique whatever buckle, so it can't fit in this whatever. I don't know. So I also put in pictures for next episode, because we got, well, actually there's still more stuff in here actually to talk about. So we're moving into the second round of the Desire Grand Prix, which is crazy to me. I thought that the first round, well, obviously technically we're in the second round within the actual show, but the first one lasted like less than an episode for our point of view, so we can ignore that. So I was expecting we'd have this first arc like last until December, because that's usually how Rider does things. The first big arc lasts until December, and then it ends in December, and then they're like, new year, new bullshit or whatever. So I thought that this would all end in December, but no, it ended last week. So tomorrow, is it tomorrow? It is tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be getting the next round starting, which is crazy. So we're getting new riders, 2 new riders. Actually, let's use this picture where you can see the 2 new riders. So on the left, I believe, is Kamen Rider Keiro. Please correct me if I'm wrong, of course. Keiro, and I believe on the right is Kamen Rider Reta. So obviously Keiro is an owl, and Reta is a goat, I think, is how that is working out. And obviously Keiro's a repaint of Ginpen, and Reta is a repaint of Mary. But they actually took off like all the fur, so it actually does kind of look like a different helmet. So I love how we're doing this. Like, I love the fact we ended a Desire Grand Prix already, and we're getting a whole new round is so cool to me, because in no other show would, like, we're only 10 episodes in, and then we get 3 new characters, because Punk Jack, like, his user is technically a new character. So only in this show would a huge plot development happen less than 10 episodes in, and then now we get, like, 2 new characters, 2 new riders, an old rider, but a brand new character actually using him, or using the belt. And I think that's so cool. I just love that. And I love as well that we're seeing, like, as the new buckles were unlocked in the last round, like, now they're starting to get, like, filtered into the, like, actual rotation, I guess, of the Desire Grand Prix. Because now we see Keiro's using Ninja, which was, like, the super rare item last round. Reta's using Propeller, which was, again, like, it was the final boss item last round, and now she just uses it. I think those are the only 2 buckles we know they're using so far. And then Punk Jack gets to use Monster, which is literally, like, the brand new, super exclusive, special, final boss defeating item. And now it's just his base form. He gets it first round, and now he gets to use it. And I think that's super cool. It just, like, it actually shows, I guess, that the stakes are being elevated, because now these power-ups go from, I mean, Ninja went from, like, the big thing to defeat the boss and Monster. Ninja and Monster were both, like, the new big buckles to defeat the boss, the final boss, and now they're just other people's, like, base forms. Or for Keiro, it's not even his base form. So I do think it's interesting we only have 2 new, or no, Ginpen, I guess, is not Ginpen, Punk Jack is a repaint, I guess. So I don't know, never mind, let's ignore that. And then Nago's getting her base form buckle as well with Beats. This is the same picture I had earlier, but now K was in it. So I guess we'll use this one. And I think Beat might be my new favorite raised buckle, because the buckle looks alright, but I love the jingles it makes. I love the fact it has sounds, so it like creates its own standby in the belt, or like out of the belt, and then you put it in the belt. I think that's super cool, and I just really like the form. You can see it better here on Buffa for some reason, but it just looks really cool. Like, I love the waveform effects, the speaker armor design is super cool, and for Nago, you can see like it gives this gold little like mouthpiece, like a DJ, and then because Nago has her headphones, it like fits in with her headphones. Like, now her gamer headset has a little mouthpiece microphone, and I think that's super fun. So I mean, I don't really care about the guitar axe. Everyone goes crazy about like all the weapons in Geats, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, he has a chainsaw, he has an axe, it's fine. They're just weapons to me. I feel like everyone's like overhyping them. It's just like, guys, it's just a chainsaw. It's fine. You don't have to go insane over it. It's a freaking overpriced toy as well. So yes, I have seen a lot of people are saying it doesn't really match her that well. Like Tycoon is green and Ninja's like the same shade of green, so it like goes perfectly, honestly, with his whole aesthetic. Buffa and Zombie are like the same shade of purple. Even Geats is the same shade of white as Magnum. The Pawn is even the same shade of white as Magnum when he used it. And then Nago is just kind of, it's blue. It's a blue buckle, so it doesn't really look like it's her best match buckle, even though we know it is. Like, this is now her base form. But I don't know. I mean, I still really like it. It fits in well enough because it has some gold accents on it. Where is it? I guess you can kind of see on the top left, but it has some gold accents, so I feel like it fits well enough. I just really like how it looks. It honestly looks better on Buffa, though, I feel, which is kind of, I guess, bad. But, you know, I don't know. I really like Beat. I can't wait to see Beat in action. I also really want to see like where it comes from. Like, again, like, because this is a brand new buckle, so did it always exist in the DGP and now it's just randomly in this new round, or what's up with that? I really want to learn about that. I also forgot, I didn't even talk about Punk Jack, because Punk Jack is new. Punk Jack is like the same. For me, Punk Jack is, Monster on Punk Jack is worse than Nago Beat, because Nago Beat still has some gold on it, and I feel like it works well with the suit. But I don't know. I mean, I really like Punk Jack Monster still. I'm not gonna lie. I still think it's a really cool form. But yeah, it doesn't really work with him at all. Like, as looking at this and then being like, that's his base form, I'd be like, really? Like, again, like, there's no orange on the monster buckle at all. So it's like, how is this the big pumpkin orange bear's base form? I don't know. There's a bit of a disconnect there. I still really like the form. Like, it looks really cool. I liked its usage. No, I didn't actually like its usage with Geats, because he debuted it as a finisher, which is really boring and annoying. But I mean, it's going to be used as a base form buckle now, so it's completely fine. Is there another picture of him? Yeah, there is, but it's kind of weird, so we'll stick to this one. So yeah, I think if I had to change it, I would probably change the blue to orange, or no, maybe the yellow to orange. Like, if the yellow was orange, then it would be like an all orange buckle, and then it's like, yeah, that is the orange bear's form, but instead it's just yellow and blue, so kind of weird. But I also really like how, like, this is like how unique the buckle is too, like, because it's the only one with a different standby in the driver, because it's like a toggleable like item, I guess, as in like when you activate a boost finisher, you just rev the handle and then it makes sounds. But with this, if you hit the monster head, he goes back to sleep, and then you have to hit it again so he's awake. So because of that, it's the only big buckle without a weapon associated with it, because we got Ninja gets the Ninja Dueler, Magnum gets the Magnum Shooter. Where's Magnum? Here's Magnum. Nago or Beat gets the, what is it? The Beat Axe, I think it's called. Zombie gets the Zombie Breaker, which is just a chainsaw, but I guess those do break zombies, so it's a fair point. But this doesn't get a weapon. It's just the armor. And I mean, obviously it's because it's supposed to be like the weapon of it is the buckle itself. Like, it's super powerful, and it's like the big punches that we see Geats use. So again, I mean, actually, with these two images, like, you can kind of see, or this singular image, these two forms, I mean, you kind of see like the two most unique buckles in the show, where Punk Jack's doesn't have a weapon associated with it because the sounds were completely different, and the weapon itself is meant to be the buckle, or the buckle itself is the weapon, the armor. And then meanwhile, Boost, instead of summoning a weapon, it summons a whole vehicle, and that's why it has access to the boost times and all that. So that's really cool. I put these two pictures in with all the forms just because I really want to emphasize how cool I think these form changes are in the show. Like, I absolutely love that we have a show like this, that we have all these little gimmicks, all these big gimmicks, how they all work largely the same way, but they're all still somewhat unique in comparison to each other. And it all just fits like effortlessly into the way the show works. Like we established, there's all these little buckles that are just not really form changes. They're just referred to as like armed attachment weapons. Then we have these big buckles, which are actually form changes, and they each give little weapon summons or power. Yeah, they each give little weapon summons unless they're super powerful and they just have big fists, or they have a bike, and that's super cool. And yes, and then combine that with the fact we're doing like a second arc already, but it doesn't feel like rushed. It's like, oh wow, we are actually doing this. This is really cool. So I think it's super cool. I mean, I say this every time. I can't wait to see where Geats is gonna go, because it's so unpredictable and it's so cool. Even I got to point out, like, a super big thing too is we're getting like monster riders. This thing on the left is called a Jamato Rider, and as you can see, you can't really. Is there a better picture of it? I don't think there's a better picture of it, unfortunately. I apologize for that. But it's called a Jamato Rider, and it's basically an entry form rider with this weird Jamato armor, because you can see the head even has like a compound eye, like a Kamen Rider, and then the buckle has a cracked, or the belt has a cracked core ID, and then it has the buckle piece on the bottom, but the armor's on the top. So it's like a cursed, like, it's like a super cursed kind of form, I guess. And I think it's so cool, especially too because they said the Jamato are like starting to evolve. So the Jamato are starting to evolve to the point where they're now copying the Kamen Riders that are fighting them, and it's so cool. I feel like we finally hit like this in between of what Kamen Rider's been trying to do for a while, which is evil Kamen Riders, right? They're always trying to, I mean, that's kind of been a staple for 20 years, I guess, where we got evil Kamen Riders, and that's completely fine. I mean, I like evil Kamen Riders, but I do see sometimes there's like complaints of like, now every Rider season is just Rider versus Rider, because they make all the bad guys riders instead of monsters. And I do feel that sometimes it's like, it didn't have, like, especially in Saber, like, again, this is coming from someone who likes Saber. It's like, did we really need story is to be a rider, like he could have just used the book and upgraded his monster form. Or like again, and then that's something I thought Revice like did well, where they didn't make any of the monsters that they had turn into riders for the sake of being riders. They were just monsters. That being said, they still had too many riders, which is really funny how that happened. But here, I'm assuming, I mean, this isn't a Kamen Rider. It's a monster rider. Like, it's a monster designed to look like a rider, and they're probably going to sell that buckle and core ID on Premium Bandai, but it's not, it's like a pseudo rider again, but it's not really a pseudo rider. Like, I think that's the crazy thing, because we've had pseudo riders a lot, of course, and I love pseudo riders. I actually wish, like, if they had to do evil Kamen Riders, I wish they would just make them pseudo riders, because it still makes Kamen Rider, like, special, but you still get a toy you can sell. And in this case, like, I mean, maybe it is a pseudo rider, maybe they're going to say, like, henshin, and they transform and stuff, but it seems like it's just a monster. It's kind of like another Riders, I guess, within the universe. Like, it's another Riders in Geats. Like, so, like, in Geo, I guess, if you don't know, the monsters are all monsters that look like older Kamen Riders, so they're definitely not monsters. They just look like other, or they're definitely not riders. They just look like other Kamen Riders. So, it's kind of like in another Kamen Rider, I guess, where it's a Geats rider using a Geats belt and a Geats buckle, but they're not a Geats rider. I don't know. It's like, it's, I don't know how to explain it fully, but it is super interesting how this is working out. So, I mean, and also too, because it adds this level of evolution, because now I'm assuming at some point we're going to get a Jamato that turns into like a full-on rider, and I'm kind of excited for that, because now we have this like in-between state, so it's like this form of evolution until they become a rider. I think that's really neat. So, yes, Geats is awesome. I've seen some people say that they think the Jamato Riders are older, the dead Kamen Riders from in Geats. And yeah, I've seen people since like episode 1 or something, people have been saying that the Jamato are old mission failed riders turned into Jamato, or their monster. I don't know what I was saying there. Since like the first episode, people have been saying that the riders who mission fail turn into Jamato. And this, I mean, this doesn't confirm it, I would say, because they are saying that this is an evolution of the Jamato. But the fact they have the cracked like core ID, and it looks like the cracked core IDs of the the riders who game over or mission fail, it does, I mean, there is room they could say that these are like those riders like possessed by the Jamato or something. I could definitely see them. That would be really interesting. But I have no idea. I personally don't think they're gonna do that for this. Eventually I do think they'll bring back the mission fails, and it'll be something funny. Not funny, it'll be something crazy, but Mochi says, partial theory in the back of my head is that the Jamato rider could be a current DGP player that has the buckle forced onto them and turned into that. That would be really interesting. Yeah, they stick the buckle in there and it cracks the core ID and now they're a monster. That would be really interesting too. Because also, yeah, it does raise the question of where does the Desire Driver come from? Because we've seen that they hand them out. So it's like, where did the Jamato get one? Unless they're just mimicking it. So, do I think Keiwa's parents died and didn't return because they entered the Desire Grand Prix too? I never thought of that. That's definitely possible. But the thing is, they seem to be implying that they died in that fight, or in that incident that Sarah got her memories back for. which we know would be weird because the dead people get reset after the world or the game ends. So I'm thinking it's like around where the riders all lost, and then because of that they died. Because they haven't really explained that or like why they died, because they were killed by the Jamato. Because they wouldn't make a big deal of it if they weren't actually killed by them. Like, they'd be like, oh my god, our parents died in the Desire Grand Prix. But they came back, it's fine. But they're kind of making a big deal out of it, like that's the cause of their actual real-world deaths. So, I mean, it could be because they entered the Desire Grand Prix afterwards, but I don't think that is what's happening. I do think they died from the Jamato, and then it was like a game over or something. I wish that for the winter movie, Iki gets a Desire driver with his own ID core would primarily be in that form, kind of like Aruto's 001 in the First Generations movie. That would be really, really cool. And that's why I don't think they're going to do it. Because that sounds like a really fun idea to have, like, all the... I mean, they should do that for all the Revice riders and have them all, or at least the main four, because they all have their own buckles, so they could all have their own core IDs. And then they use, like, their respective base form buckles. So we have Kamen Rider Demons transforming into Kamen Rider Demons, but using the Desire Driver and the Demons buckle. That would be super awesome. But I don't think they're going to do that, because I don't know, it just doesn't seem like something they would do. Especially, like I don't think they've ever done that. They've never had riders wear a belt from another season, I think. Because, like you point out, the 001, he's still wearing a 01 driver, like a driver from the season of Kamen Rider 01. And like Drive would go into type dead heat with the Mach driver, but the Mach driver is still a driver that was introduced in the season of Kamen Rider Drive. So I can't really see them doing that because I don't think they've ever had riders wear another season's belt. So yeah. So that's Geats. Oh, Donbrothers. Should we talk about Donbrothers now, or should we talk about the Geats rumors? Let me know, because there's not really much for Donbrothers, and then we'd only be talking a bit about the Donbrothers rumors and stuff. So actually, we'll just talk about the Geats rumors now, I guess, since we're already still talking about Geats. So I believe, let me pull up the rumors specifically so I can like actually read them accurately. Okay, everyone's saying Geats rumors, so yeah. Okay. Cool. So these are rumors for like past the next what? I'm losing all of my brain cells right now. These are the rumors for like the next year, essentially, because we know we already have essentially confirmed, like, it's not actually confirmed because we haven't seen it yet, but it's basically confirmed that in December we're going to be getting, I think it's called the Command Raise buckle. And we don't really fully know how that works right now. So, I've seen a couple of rumors actually that the way it's gonna work is, or no, is it the command? I've seen like two things. I've seen we're supposed to be getting the Command Raise buckle, but then I've also seen we're supposed to be getting the Powered Builder buckle. And I think the Powered Builder buckle is supposed to upgrade the smaller buckles. Like, you put on the Command Raise buckle, or sorry, the Powered buckle. The Powered Raise buckle has been described to be like a wrench, I think, and you attach that onto the belt when a smaller raise buckle is in use, and that upgrades the smaller raise buckle. Um, that's what I've heard for that thing, I think, unless I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course, as always. And then, but then also there's the powered raise buckle. They're the powered, sorry, that is the powered builder, the command raise buckle. So we're getting like 2 power-up buckles in December, and I'm not sure what's up with that. Like, I think the command twin buckle is supposed to be like the equivalent of like Dragonic or Mighty Brothers or something, but I don't know if I don't know how that ties into the powered builder then. So, because I mean, I guess logically if the powered builder just upgrades the armed buckles, then the command twin would just be a buckle, right? So it's like a big buckle. You can either have this one big buckle and then you got a big buckle upgrade, or you can get a you can upgrade the smaller buckles, I guess. I think that's how that works. I don't know. So considering the rumors mention cards as a gimmick. Oh yeah, we'll get to the cards. So actually, I believe we get to the cards now. Yeah. So in February, apparently we are supposed to be getting a DX transformation gun buckle, which is supposed to be black and white, and it comes with blue/silver fox and red buffa cards. And then there's going to be a DX belt and card item holder, which comes with yellow lion and green frog cards. So this is a thing a while ago. When did these rumors come out? This was like a little under a couple weeks ago. So these rumors, when they came out, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe these rumors. I think, yeah, I believe they are still rumors. So I'm not sure. Obviously, take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. I'm not sure how real or true they will be, but let's assume they're all true, of course, for the sake of conversation. So we're getting the new transformation gun, essentially, but it also says it's a buckle, but I'll get into that in a second. So we're just getting a new transformation item, and it's a gun, and it reminds me a lot of Build, of the Night Rogue and Bloodstock. What did they use? The Train Steam gun, where it transformed them, and all the other riders used belts, and also the Kaisers had transformation guns. And the thing that's like, when they use those, they still use bottles. The Train Steam gun still use full bottles, and the Nebula Steam gun used, I think they were called gears, but they still looked like bottles. They still functioned like bottles. You could still use the gears in the belts, like a full bottle. But this thing, if it uses cards, this is like, we're getting like 2 gimmicks at the same time, because this, you can't use the cards with like the belt. You can't stick a card in the raise buckle slot, because that's just not how that works. So granted, I've also seen some people say that the cards could be specifically like they could be meant to be like the core IDs. So the gun is a transformation item, and you stick a card in it, and that creates a new entry form with the gun. But then it's like, what is the point of the card holder then? Because unless this rider is going to transform into different animals, or like his form changes are animals, then like there's no point for a rider to use the card holder to have, okay. so it said the cards could have the rails on the back, which would slide into the belt. Well, I mean, at that point, they're not cards then. They're just like buckles with a flat surface. It wouldn't really be much of a card. It also wouldn't look very good at all on anything. So I don't think that's how that's going to work. But yeah, I mean, like, it seems like it's a rider that uses cards as their abilities. Oh, literally the DN driver. I just realized we've had a card using gun before. But yeah, it's super interesting to me because it's like, it's just that's a whole new, like, it's not only a whole new transformation system, but it's a whole new, like, gimmick system. And then also, it makes me wonder too, like, how in this show, how does that happen? Because we've established, it's the Desire Grand Prix. You get a belt, you fight in the fight against the Jamato, and you have the belt. You can use the different buckles. There are different buckles. So it's like, what happens in February to where this whole new transformation item appears? Like, what is it? Like, the Jamato are too powerful now, you guys need this, we need this new item into the game or something? Or I was like just spitballing, I was like, what if it's Sumeri, because we have the one scene where she uses cards to pick Punk Jack, and then it has all the other riders like core IDs on it. I think that's kind of a stretch, though. I was playing around. I was like, well, she has cards. So, and I mean, if it's black and white in color, she wears black and white. It could be like, it's like, it could be like an admin thing, because obviously she wears black and white. What's his name? The Game Master wears black and white. So, it could be like the gun, it's like an admin device. Like, now, I mean, maybe it could be Sumeri or the Game Master go into the game, and they have this special item for them to participate in the Desire Grand Prix. Or alternatively, it's like, maybe they have to fight the other riders in the Desire Grand Prix now. I don't know. I mean, honestly now I assume it's like an admin weapon. Like, this is what admins, because we know Punk Jack is just like, she called him a staff member, and that's why he's built like a normal rider, because he's like a worker. So maybe it's like, if the Game Master, Sumeri, or someone else that's like really on top of everything, this is the thing they use. That is true. Achilles points out that she holds the Magnum in the opening. I didn't realize that. Yeah, we have precedence for okay, you look at Kamen Rider Geats. We're supposed to be getting a gun transformation item that uses cards. We have one character that we've seen holding a gun that has also held cards. Look, it's I think it is confirmed to be Sumeri. That's a joke. But someone asked, what is the gold buckle? It's the Fever Slot Race buckle. I will leave it up on here, I guess. Why not? So that's supposed to be February, okay? Then in March, and I think this is at least confirmed because another store said this. In March, we're supposed to be getting the DX Boost Mark II buckle. So Boost Mark II is coming in March, which would make it the super form, Boost Mark II. So I mean, if that's true, then at this point I would assume Boost Mark III is part of the final form. Because I mean, that just makes sense. So yeah. But what I find more interesting about this is that so not only is Boost Mark II our super form, if it comes out in March, that would make it the super form, but the rumors also say that it would be red in color, surprise, and it would be compatible with the transformation gun from February. Additionally, there's going to be a set of Boost Mark II and the transformation gun. And don't forget that, as I briefly mentioned at the beginning, that the transformation gun is actually referred to as the DX transformation gun buckle. So what I'm hearing with this, or like what I'm thinking, is that in February we get this new gun that creates a whole new rider. But then in March, Boost gets Mark II, and that creates a super form. But then it's only like half of his super form. Like, it's like Boost is only half of his base form. And it sounds like his actual super form is going to be a super version of Magnum Boost. But instead of Boost, it's Boost Mark II. And instead of Magnum, it's a literal gun that other riders have been using. But now he just sticks it onto the belt and transforms. And that sounds awesome to me. I'm praying that that's what's happening, because that means like we're combining transformation devices, and I literally cannot think of a single time that has ever happened in Rider. Like, it's literally like, it's like if Cross Z, if Kamen Rider Cross and Build could transform with the Magma Knuckle, and then he could also stick it onto the Build driver and transform into the Magnum Knuckle, but it gives him like a different form. Like, it sounds crazy to me that it's like a whole gun creates a transformation form, but then the same gun can go in the belt and create a new form, and it's also supposed to go with another thing to create a new form. And on top of that, it's a gun in a boost, because it's supposed to be Magnum Boost, like version 2 of the super form, or as the super form of the base form. So it's like, what? It's it's at first I was like, this sounds really weird, but then pretty much with the speculation that the gun will actually be a buckle on the belt, and it would be like Magnum Boost Mark II Electric Boogaloo, that's where I was like, okay, wait, I think I'm into this like a lot. So I really hope this is true, because I mean, just the fact it's like a transformation gun that becomes a buckle is so cool. I just love that by itself, right? So it's like, what is the commander form, and why have I heard so much and not seen it? Well, no one has seen it actually, because it's supposed to be the December form, so that's why. Actually, this also reminds me of like, does anyone remember when Revice was coming out, or during Revice, and we got the Body Direct stamp, and there was a slot on the side, and everyone was like, what if the slot is for the Libera driver, and then you stick that onto the belt, and everyone's like, you know how I mean, first of all, that's dumb. Do you know how big that would be? That was about it. And then it turns out, no, it's just a new Volcano stamp. So that's kind of like that. But actually true. It is a whole separate weapon item that you just stick onto the belt. Or transformation item. So, will there be a sword buckle? Actually, I don't think there is. There's no armed sword in the belt, I believe. So that's interesting. We already have the Ninja Dueler, which has a sword, and I guess if you stretch it, you could say the Zombie Breaker is like a sword with the blade that moves, because that's what a chainsaw is. So could be like the Ames driver if it went into another belt. I've seen, someone else says the Shot Riser, but the Shot Riser is different because it's a gun that you stick onto a buckle piece, and it's still the Shot Riser. Like, in both ways, it's still the Shot Riser. In this case, it would be, if you use the gun on its own, you transform into a new rider, or at least 4 new riders, as if this is to be believed, or you stick it onto the belt and it creates a form for whatever rider. So it's like Sumuri uses it and transforms into Kamen Rider Sumuri. Please don't be called a Kamen Rider Sumuri. Or Ace uses it and he transforms into Kamen Rider Ace Super Magnum whatever form. So I can't wait for that. It's gonna be so long until we see that, which now makes me very sad. Will there be Kamen Rider Rise in December 2022 for Kamen Rider Geats or not? I have no idea. Heard you like drivers in your drivers, so how about we put a driver in your driver's driver? Exactly, you get it. That's the vision. I'm seeing the vision. Oh, and also in March we're supposed to be getting a black mission box and weapon buckle set. Okay, whatever. the boxes are fine. I haven't bought either of them, so. Do you think they'll be able to release all of the mini race buckles? I think they might. So actually, right now, we have, there's only 9 armed buckles that they haven't released yet, or that we haven't seen. They haven't released yet. I don't remember all of them, but I do know for a fact that there's just only 9. So, I mean, they could release, if they keep doing like 2 singular buckle releases for a while, they'll get all of them out. So, yeah. Am I hyped for seeing Punk Jack's personality? Yes, I am. Punk Jack seems like a cool dude. I'm really interested in this image, like his dynamic with Ace, because Ace's name is Ace, and this Punk Jack's name is gonna be Win, and it's Win Hallelujah. So his name is crazy, but it kind of like matches how Ace's name is the word Ace. Like, that's probably not his real name. So, and additionally, like, apparently the game master is like hoping that like Win Hallelujah wins the desired Grand Prix or something. Like, he's betting on Win to do something. And also, what? Also, he's a DGP staff member that's now playing the game. So it's like, is he allowed to do that? So it kind of seems like he's a wild card now, like, in the game. And I think it's really interesting, like, I don't know, like, he seems like this perfect rival to Ace, essentially. Like, the game master's tired of Ace winning, so now he wants, he's introducing Punk Jack into the game specifically to mess with Ace. So honestly, I think Punk Jack is going to win this current round of the Desire Grand Prix. And I mean, maybe it's like this goes on until, like, what if the first one we had was like 9 episodes, so if this one lasts 9 episodes, it would go until episode 18, which does put us around January, actually, the end of January. If it goes like a little shorter, it would actually probably end at the end of the year. So then it could be like he wins this round of this game, and then in February we get the admin gun. So it's like, whatever happens, he wins, and he like allows the DGP, like the other DGP members, to start participating in the game or something like that. I have no idea, but yeah, I do think he's being introduced as like this perfect rival to Ace, like where Kawa was like a balance, where he's the complete opposite of Geats. I think Ace, or Win Punk Jack, is gonna be like the perfect opposite, or not the perfect opposite. He's like the same but better, essentially. Someone at this point, yeah, he's like a secondary rider. When will Kamen Rider Tycoon coming back? I have no idea. Is the Boost 2 race buckle can combine with the Boost race buckles? I have no idea. It could be like it's supposed to be like the Boost buckle upgraded in universe. I mean, as a toy, you could definitely put Boost and Boost Mark II together. But I have no idea if in universe that's what it's going to be. So, because I don't know if the belt reads the finishers as Boost. Like, if it's Boost or if it says Boost Mark II when you do the finisher. So, what about Buffa? Oh yeah, Buffa's still Buffa's definitely like the other rival character. But Punk Jack is like Buffa's different from Geats. He like hates Geats, and Win seems like he likes Ace and Geats, but he's like better than him, I guess. So that's actually about it for Geats. We've talked about Geats way longer than I thought we would, so I'm gonna end here. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess at this point it's time to talk about Donbrothers. And actually, it's fine we went on this long, because Donbrothers isn't actually, like, we haven't really gotten anything. Like, this image is just Goldan Momotaro, which we talked about last time, and I like Goldan Momotaro. I've already talked about I like the look of it. And actually I like it more now, because if you remember, I was saying like it feels a little bit plain. But I was saying maybe it could be plain because there was the rumor that the armor gets plopped onto the Senpaijers, and that's what they're doing. We've already gotten gold on Tokyo Ichigo. Tomorrow's episode, we're going to be getting gold on Juo Eagle. So who knows what we're getting after that. I mean, we can logically get gold ons of any of the Senpaijers, because it's just sticking the armor onto the onto the older suits. So I'm excited to see the gold-ons. I don't know, I was trying to come up with a joke and I don't know what to say. And then this on the left side of this image, it's just stuff we've already seen, stuff we've already talked about. But on the right is the crazy stuff where I'll talk about it in a second. So yeah, the Goldon got what Goldons would you like to see? The Senpaiger Goldons, or actually any of the Rangers using the Goldon armor. I really want to see Goldon Ryusel Red. I think that would look cool. It'd also be kind of like a callback to the Master armor or whatever it's called, the Ryusel Caliber armor. Because I mean, he wore like armor like that in Ryu Soldier. And then I mean, honestly, I don't know. The first response was Gokai Red, obviously. I expected that. I think some people have been some people have been pointing out that Tokyuger was the first alter that Danmo Mutaru used, and now it's the first Goldon armor that he used. And then the Juo altar was, I think, the second, if not one of the first other armors he used, and now, the second like altar, and now it's the second armor. So presumably we'll see at least, I mean, we'll definitely see Goldon Ryu Soldier then, if they're following that trend. And was Ryu Soldier the last altar that... Oh, and Ninja. So we'll probably see Goldon, Aka Ninja, I forgot the name. And I think that would be those are the only altars that we've seen in the show, right? So we're projected to see only 4 altars, or only 4 armor changes, but I assume they'll at least do Gokaiger, because everyone like screams and gets way too excited when a Gokaiger appears, so they'll probably do they'll probably do at least Gokai Red Goldon, because that would also be like a funny callback to what's it called, the Goldon, not Goldon, to the Super Gokai Red mode. I forgot what the name was. I will be right back. I'm back. I had to turn on a light because it got very dark. Okay, just for me, because you guys always, there's no face cams. The problem is the Ninja's altar is used by Dondora Goku. That's true, but I doubt they really care. It still was an altar used in the show, so they'll be like, hey, we can bring out the suit. So I've seen a bit of you saying Goldon Zenkaiser, and I would actually like to see Goldon Zenkaiser as well, but I feel like it would be kind of cursed, because they would have to get rid... He'll lose like his shoulder pad width, and it would be kind of weird, I feel. But I also kind of want to see how they would approach that. So, hey. Also, theoretically, so the Zenkaiger gear is technically the Zenkaiser gear. It says Zenkaiser in the gun. So that means all the other Zenkaiger's gears are technically, like, personalized versions. Like, if they use any of those gears, it doesn't say their name, but it is technically that character. Like, it's not a Zenkai... They're not all Zenkaiger gears. Each individual ranger is a gear. So, it means theoretically, if someone had the Dawn Blaster, I put the Dawn... the Omikoshi Phoenix on it, which would give you the Goldon armor, then you could put in a Majin gear, and then you could theoretically turn into a Majin with the gold armor, and that would be really cool. Yeah, I just wanted to I just wanted to float that idea out there. Did I notice Kaito in the latest episode in the Juto world? No, because that's not Kaito. If you look closely, it's a different jacket, it's a different actor, so it's not Kaito. However, I do think it was intentional. Like, it's definitely not a coincidence that they're like, we're gonna put a guy in here that has a jacket that looks very similar to a character from Zenkaiger. So I do think it's not a coincidence, and they're probably hinting that something's happening with Kaito in the Juto. But it's not Kaito. That wasn't Kaito, at least. Goldon Kira Major would be very cool. Yeah. I mean, honestly, all of them would be cool. But yeah, Gold on Cure Major would be cool. Now, if only Kaito could summon Majin in the show like Juran. I agree. It's not his dad either. It's just a dude. It is just a man. Also, actually, one last thing I want to say is Tokyo Ichigo wearing the gold on armor is also like his own super form when he had the gold train armor. So I think that's funny. Anyways, gold on Momotaro. We're getting this thing in the show. So this is appearing next episode. So it looks fine. It's it's definitely a big crazy thing. And that's all I have to say about it, really. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it at all. It's just it's nice. Okay, it is very nice to actually get a robot that combines all of the robots, because in Zenkaiger the closest we got was Zenroku, but that left out all of the Two Kaiser stuff and the Zenkaijuo. But I mean, obviously because of how that works, it was like two different people. But anyways, so it's nice to get a robot like these are the three, or the two main mechas of Donbrothers being combined with another thing. I know Don Zenkaiwa is technically not a part of this, but that's like a whole different mecha system, so we can forget about that. And also knowing don't count Black Oni Taijin, because the show forgot it appeared once, lost its debut fight, and has never appeared again, and it's so stupid. I can't believe they've done that. Okay, I was about to say, I can't believe people paid $200 for a thing that appeared only once. However, this is coming from someone who bought the Veil and Deathstream driver set, which is a driver set of two belts that both appeared a collective 3 times in the entire show. So I don't have any right to question. I mean, not that I really care. If you want to buy the cool looking mecha, you can buy the cool looking mecha. I have no quarrel with that. But I guess maybe I'm not in the best position to be like, people really bought a thing that appeared once for $200. No, I did that too. So I digress. We're gonna. Someone said Gold on Jetman. Gold on Jetman would be really cool. Honestly, any of them would be really cool, I feel. So. So, this thing, what is it called? Toradora Oni Taijin Kiwami. It looks cool. I'm just glad we have a big cluster mecha combo again, not gonna lie. It's just, I like it for do I say the novelty of it? Because it's kind of sad to say this is a novelty. A cluster mecha is a novelty in Super Sentai. But, it's nice to have a big mecha. I wonder, I kind of wonder how it's gonna like combine. Not how it's gonna like how it appears, how to get it, but they're probably not gonna earn it at all, because Donbrothers hasn't really had the characters earn anything, which is fine. I mean, the show's good enough where you can kind of look past that, but it also kind of it bugs me a little bit, where I'm like, okay, it's just stuff just appears. That's why I find it really funny that like we've been setting up kind of this arc for Jiro, where Jiro is. He fought Murasame once and got his ass beat, and the two of them have just been dying for multiple episodes, which is kind of funny to me. But then a lot of people have been saying like, oh, I can't wait for the Jiro upgrade form, because what Taro's dad said, like, if you want to be on the same level of Taro, you need to like vanquish whatever's going on inside of you. And I've seen a lot of people are like, oh, I can't wait for the Jiro upgrade form where he combines the two, Torable and Dandora Goku, and I'm just like, this is the show where Don Momotaro lost his powers and got them back immediately after when he held the Ninjark sword, or alternatively where they he got his big upgrade. Not his big upgrade. Well, yeah, technically, if you look at it, like, he got his big upgrade just because, like, he's like, hey guys, I can do this now. But he also got it from the essence of the other other characters, so it makes sense. But like the Robotaro forms, where did they come from? They just have them now. The Don Murasame, Black Oni Taijin Murasame was literally just Mother going like, hey, bitch, you could grow big. And he's like, oh, okay, yes, Mother. And then he grows big. So, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't wait for a Jiro power-up where he combines Don Renesame and Don Torble. And honestly, I'm expecting in the next episode that this mecha upgrade is that upgrade for him, where he's like, hey, not Murder Summer, he's like, hey, Torble, let's be friends. And he's like, okay. And then they get a big mecha form. This is honestly what I'm expecting from that storyline. If I'm wrong, and he actually does get a whole new form, then I will be happy to be wrong. I would be very happy to be wrong. But honestly, at this point, I'm not expecting anything more than like a single line of dialogue, and then they're like, okay, yeah, let's stop fighting, or we're all better now. You know, especially since we know he's in action next episode to acquire this mecha form. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. So this is the big thing I feel for the month, and we've already kind of seen the beginnings of it, where on the right, because on the left is all stuff we've already seen, on the right we're going to be getting Juto Inuzaka, and he's going to turn into a cat Juto, and we're going to be getting Juto Natsumiho is going to finally be transforming into her Juto form, which is the crane Juto as we know, and it looks kind of ass. So, like, the cat Juto form is so cool. Like, we've seen it for a long time now, and every time it looks super cool. And the crane Juto just looks, I don't mind that it uses the same body. It's the head. The head just looks really weird. It's like, why did they make it that long? It just looks awkward. I don't know what they could have done to change that. They could have had it go backwards, I guess, or maybe go forwards. Anything but straight up looks very strange. Oh yeah, someone else. Yeah, the Don Sonoy is gone. Don Sonoy was resolved because he had Odin, which granted was a payoff to an earlier like conversation, so it wasn't like unearned. Like, I'm not like upset that's how Don Sonoy goes away or whatever, but it is like that big development where it's like Sonoy has a new personality, went away because of like a little thing. So it's like this thing where it's like, oh, you need to conquer the two beings inside of you is probably going to be like, what's up, Don Torble? Let's go fight bad guys. Okay, yeah, let's go. I'm not going to do the voice because my voice hurts too much for that. So, yeah, I don't know. So anyways, the Juto are taking action, and I think that's really cool. I kind of talked about that in the short, I guess. Just like it was really cool to see like the Juto copying ability in action, with Juto Inuzaka copying Juto, or yeah, a Juto copying Inuzaka and turning it into Inuzaka. That was really cool. It's also, going off of like the preview, it does seem like the Juto are going to start like presenting themselves more to the Donbrothers, as in the what Natsumiho is literally going to be like saying like she's fighting Damo Mutaro or something like that, and she's saying that Inuzaka is a Juto now. So I mean, this happens every time, but it's like, what if we're getting the identity reveal now if Juto Inuzaka is happening and he's gonna transform into Inu Brother allegedly, going off of the preview, they will know that Inuzaka is Inu Brother, will they not? And then the real Inuzaka will appear, and it's like, well, I mean, you have to be Inu Brother as well, otherwise where did the other one get the glasses and stuff? So I don't know. I mean, it seems like we might be getting to the identity reveal, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to, people have gotten their hopes up multiple times. Remember, I thought we were going to get the identity reveal as soon as episode 12, I think. I said, because I thought then they would get the mecha, and then they would do a roll call, and then they would combine. But no, we still haven't gotten Inuzaka's identity reveal, which, I mean, is fine, I guess. But it is still like, you know, is it gonna happen now? So, also because I think we have a leak of what's happening next episode. And apparently the Noto are going to attempt to destroy the Donbrothers once and for all. And for some reason to do that, they start trying to figure out how to do a roll call. So it could be like they try to do a roll call, and Don Momotaro is like, Omoshiroi, O Tomodachi, let's try that. And then they do a roll call. And it's after they discover Inuzaka, so it's like now they're a whole team. Now they're like, okay, why don't we try doing that? And then it works, and now the Noto are like, oh no, okay, wait. So, honestly, I hope if they don't do the roll call until like the Zenkaiger crossover, I still hope that's what happens. Like the Zenkaigers do a roll call, and then the Donbrothers all look at them like, what are you doing? And then Taro's like, hey, that seems fun. Let's try it, guys. I think it would be really funny. But if that's happening in the show, that would be even funnier. If the pseudo Sentai trio of characters that are the bad guys do a roll call before the Donbrothers, and then the Donbrothers are like, hey, should we try that? That would be so funny. I would love that. That would be absolutely fantastic. Because, at this point, that whenever we're getting a Donbrothers roll call, it's going to be, like, the craziest thing ever. Because it's like, oh my god, they're finally doing the thing. So, especially, too, after Zenkaiger did roll calls every episode, which, don't forget, I love. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. It's really funny that this show then has 0 roll calls. So it just kind of makes it hits even harder that we have, like, none of the roll calls. It's like, whoa, what a change. I don't want to say an evolution, because it doesn't feel like an evolution, but it's like, whoa, what is happening? I just opened Twitter for a second, and apparently we got to go back to Kamen Rider Geats, because apparently Keiwa is coming back. He's in a preview picture for next episode with Sarah, and he's wearing the worst shirt I've ever seen in my life. But it seems like he's coming back. So hey, will he be Tycoon? Is the bigger question, but it does seem like he will be making an appearance next episode, which is pretty neat. So yeah, that's about it for... Oh, shoot, I forgot. We were going to talk about the King-Ohger rumors, because we've been getting a lot of rumors recently. Not a lot of rumors. I believe that last time I did talk about the insect rumors. Insects have been the rumor for King-Ohger for a very long time. Since before the show started, I think people were speculating that we would be getting insects in the show. And now in recent times, we've been getting even more rumors that that we'll be getting new insect Sentai. I'm trying to find the rumors. That's why I'm like, what am I talking about? Insects. Guys, do you like insects? Please tell me, actually. I do. Okay, here we go. So there's this one rumor that sounds super cool to me about the insects, which says that each King-Ohger has a bug and a vehicle. Example, butterfly and race car. The bug motif is Under Armor, and the vehicle motif can be mixed and matched. So red has red armor, blue has yellow armor, yellow has blue armor, black has green armor, pink has pink armor, and purple has white armor. The main weapon is similar to the Kyuza weapon from Kyuranger. It changes into a different weapon for each King-Ohger. The change item is coins, not gears, but they look similar. There's no CGI team member, but CGI does play a role. The coins are used to summon CGI monsters that some act as the King-Ohger's partners. The Sentai-based coins can summon a monster based on a Sentai with a different animation style. Example, Go Ranger summons a chibi Black Cross King, or Maji Ranger summons a thick line dragon. There are 2 Gatais, a Bug Gatai and a Vehicle Gatai. Altars are replaced with small mechanical monsters, can combine with the changer to become new weapons. More than 2 weapons can be combined. So that's a rumor we got like a week ago for King-Ohger. I think at this point bugs are confirmed for King-Ohger, because all the rumors say bugs. Again, before the show even started, we got bugs. Since then, all the rumors have said bugs. I will admit, I did talk a bit about King-Ohger with Keza and Marcos on a stream a while ago. Actually, while I'm talking about Keza and Marcos, if you didn't know, tomorrow I'm going to be appearing on Keza Henshin's channel here on YouTube, and I'm going to be fighting Marcos Satsu about Kamen Rider in her Keza's new show, Toku Showdown. So you should definitely go to that. But we talked a bit about King-Ohger on one of her streams. So we were saying it could be like a chess motif, because everyone wants, or at least they were saying we could get a chess motif, because King-Ohger, king chess piece, and the rumor is we start off with 6 rangers, and there are 6 unique chess pieces. So I was saying it could be like we get a chess and bug motif, so they're insects, but it's like a chess piece, so it's like King Kabuto, Queen Rook, or Queen Rook? No, it would be like Queen Butterfly, King Kabuto, Rook Stag, or something like that. Because they could definitely merge like multiple motifs. That's just a Sentai thing, or no, it's just a Toku thing in general, right? Like Doctor Video Games. What else? Saber books and swords. Who would have merged books and swords? Nobody but Toei. So, it's a very Toei move to just randomly merge things together. So I was thinking they could do chess and bugs. It does seem like this saying they're doing bugs and vehicles, which would again be the same thing. I'm kind of iffy on that, because I'm tired of vehicles in Sentai. Like, I'm tired of animals in Kamen Rider, and I'm tired of vehicles in Sentai. And we're getting vehicles in Sentai. However, this bug thing does add a wrinkle into things, because a bug gatai and a vehicle gatai sounds really cool. Like, I mean, it just sounds really cool to have like the set of mecha, and they can combine in different ways off the bat. Like, I think Ninja did that, and Ryu Soldier did that, and it was super cool. Ninja's was kind of alright, but it was super cool in Ryu Soldier. So it's kind of like that, where we can get like five Zords, and if they're all in vehicle modes, they can create this vehicle mecha, or they can transform into bugs, and they transform into this bug mecha. That would be super cool. I really like that. I also really like the coins. The coins sound pretty cool. I'm wondering, any scans of King-Ohger? Someone asked. No, we have no scans. We have no confirmed info for King-Ohger right now, other than it is called Osama Sentai King-Ohger. That's the only thing we have confirmed. Everything I'm talking about right now is a rumor. So the coins sound really interesting, because again, it sounds like we're bringing in the older Sentai as the main gimmick of the show. And coins are very similar to gears. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going to use the gears again. But it's like the coins... My immediate thought was the coins have like the RFID chips in them. Like O's coins, I guess. O's medals. And then the whatever device in King-Ohger will scan the medals. Or the coins, I mean. But the coins will still have teeth on them. So you can use the coins as gears in the Dawn Blaster and the Gear Tlinger, or some of the current some of the current King-Ohger weapons would also have the teeth reading ability, so you could use the old gears in that and get older Sentai sounds. But like, the only way you can get specific new sounds is with the coins, because the coins have the scanning feature. That was just my random thought, because I don't if the gimmicks are coins, it's very similar to gears, so it's like I feel like they would make them gears again, or at least gear compatible again. That's what I was thinking. But maybe it would be like one weapon. like in Ultraman Decker. Decker's a sequel to Trigger, but they gave it a new gimmick. But there's one weapon that uses both of their gimmicks. So maybe they do something like that, like one weapon that can use coins like gears, and then you could use the gears again. So, and also the armor thing. The bug motif is under armor, and the vehicle motif can be mixed and matched. That sounds really interesting. Like, it's like Tokuger's armor. So a lot of people, I mean, I'm definitely not the first person to say this, but it's like the Tokuger armor swaps, but different, because it's like red would still be red, but now he has pink armor, and then pink would still be pink, but now she has like yellow armor. So that would be really interesting. That would be a really cool, I think, like, mix and match thing. Just like, I think I've also seen people say it's like Kamen Rider. It does sound like, it's like Geats. It's literally like Geats, where they all have the Under Armour entry suit, and then they switch into different armors, and they can all use the same armor. It would be like that for Sentai, where every Sentai has the same under suit, and then they switch that armor suit for different motifs or something. Like if they're all Kabuto, or no, like Red is Kabuto, and now you can use like the race car, the dump, the whatever different vehicles they have. I don't know. Vehicles again sounds so boring, because we already did vehicles so soon, or so recently, with Kira Major, and it was fine in Kira Major, but it's like, I don't know, we already had like a race car, fire truck, mecha. Were we really going to get another one, like, only a couple years after? It sounds really soon, I guess, but like at the same time, it's like, now they're, I don't know, it's like at the same time now they're bugs, so it's not really vehicles, it's bug vehicles, but at the same time it's like, couldn't we have just gotten bugs? Or couldn't we have just gotten like bugs with something interesting, like, you know, bugs and vehicles, really? So on one hand, I do really like it, but I kind of don't want vehicles again. If it was like bugs with, again, like chess or anything else, that would be really cool. So yeah. And then also, I believe more recently, we've been getting a couple more specific rumors that say that the show was supposed to be like a combination of like like magic and technology. So like technology and magic. And Kira Major was all about like magic, kind of. Not exactly, I feel, but it was close. So it's like vehicle magic again. Like it literally just sounds like Kira Major to me. And I like Kira Major again, but it's like, I don't want the same thing to happen, I guess. I already watched Kira Major. I don't need to see Kira Major again. I want to see something different. However, I will admit, if you remember, this was one of my complaints with Geats before it started, that we were bringing back the X-Aid 01 rider. Because, again, I love X-Aid. I don't really love 01, but I don't really have a huge problem with it. But I was worried because in the beginning of 01, there were a lot of like writing things that were similar to X-Aid. But Geats is completely different from either show. There's no way in hell I could be like, well, these plot developments are a little bit similar to Geats or to X-Aid. Like, no, there's literally nothing I can really connect to Geats or connect between the two other than, like, you know, the game stuff and the gimmick stuff and stuff like that. But so I've been wrong about this before. I'm like, oh, it feels like the same thing. No, they're definitely very different. So it could be the same here, where I'm like, magic vehicles sounds like Kira Major, and it turns out to be like, it has a wildly different like tone and whatever from Kira Major. So, you know, as always, we'll have to wait and see. Those are just my initial like gripes, complaints, where I'm like, hey, this is very similar to a thing you just did. You just did this, guys. Like, come on now. Don't vehicle seasons sell well toy-wise? I have no idea. I mean, Donbrothers has no, like, normal vehicles, and it's the highest-selling Sentai in a while, so, you know, it just kind of goes crazy, you know. I don't work on the shows, so I can't really say for sure whether or not, you know, what's gonna be selling well and stuff, so, yeah. So that's King-Ohger rumors. So what do you guys think of the King-Ohger rumors? Are you excited for King-Ohger? Because I know I'm not really excited because I don't. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing concrete enough for me to get super hyped about the show, and I like Donbrothers, so I'm not like, I'm perfectly fine with what we've got right now. So I don't feel the need to get very excited about what's happening. So, once we get something more concrete and actually really like that, then I'll see what's up. But right now it's like I really like, the insect thing sounds cool. The double gatai thing sounds cool. The armor swap thing sounds cool. But it could all be fake, and I don't like the vehicle thing, so we'll have to see. You remember how cool the Gokaiger swapping weapons were? Well, I haven't seen Gokaiger, and I mean, them swapping weapons is a little... it's just them holding a different toy? I feel like it's a little different from, like, armor swaps. Armor swaps goes hard. So, yeah. That's, I don't know. I mean, yeah, whatever. Is the thing. I'm really curious seeing how the Mantis and Spider Rangers may look like. That would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the insect stuff. I'd really like to see how they incorporate the insects into the visors, I guess. Because they'll definitely incorporate them into the visors. That's just what Super Sentai do. So, yeah, those would be really cool visors, actually. I never thought of that. These could be really cool suits. I'm excited to see the suits. I'm excited for concrete info about King-Ohger. I'm not necessarily excited about King-Ohger itself, I guess, if that makes sense. Until I see the poster, rumors are nothing but just to hype people. That's true. Although we will get, like, before the poster, we should get basically confirmed info in, like, December. Because that's usually what happens. So I think around December last year, we got the rumor that Don Momotaro would be making a cameo in Zenkaiger. He would have a bike that looks like the Geertlinger, and the bike would also combine with Juran, and then Juran would appear in Zenkaiger. Sorry, he is in Zenkaiger. Juran would appear in Donbrothers, and that was all true. It also said we'd get a black Juran, but it turns out that was just a mistranslation, miscommunication, whatever, of black Zenkaiger black. So it's still like a Zenkaiger black thing appearing. The only, like, part of those, it even said the gears were coming back. It said gears would come back and they would be shurikens, or they would look like shurikens, not that they actually were shurikens. And that's about what is true. They are, like, more shuriken-looking gears. The only thing that rumor got wrong is that it said that Don Momotaro would be appearing for the rest of Zenkaiger, and he never appeared afterwards, which is perfectly fine. That's how I wanted it to happen, so... Related to Geats, but curious if you think Geats will sort of exit game stuff and have the Jamato attack outside of the games. Personally, I hope they continue the games. I honestly, I really have no clue, because before the show started, and, like, I mean, before the show started, I was thinking this, and it's kind of like the obvious thing, which would be that the DGP would end. Like, that's just kind of how Kamen Rider be sometimes, where it's like, oh, there's this big thing we're setting up now, and now it's going to change. So a lot of people were saying, like, the Desire Grand Prix would probably end, like, December or something, but then the show actually happened, and then episode 1 ended the Desire Grand Prix. Now episode 9 ended another Desire Grand Prix. We're probably going to end another Desire Grand Prix by the end of the year, or at least the beginning of next year. So I could see them ending it towards, like, the end of the show. Like, it's the end, and then, like the Jamato are just attacking now, and now the riders have to just be riders. They're not fighting for anything other than to protect people. I could definitely see that happening. But especially with how the Desire Grand Prix is like in all the branding as well, where it's like it's literally the first shot of the opening is the DGP logo. Now I think it's kind of crazy if it's like the Desire Grand Prix is over, we're not doing it anymore, because that's the whole theming of the show, that they're fighting in this game. So honestly, I don't think we are gonna end the Desire Grand Prix, or if we do, it'll be very, very late. It'll be like end game arc stuff. Like the Desire Grand Prix is completely over now, or it's just gone now. We have to fight to save the world. That's the only time I could see them actually ending it now, because before that, it feels like they'll work it into the show. Like they'll have they've already set up the Jamato are evolving, so we could get to a point where it's like riders versus riders within the Desire Grand Prix, because the other riders are fighting or Jamato, or maybe they randomly get rid of the player attack bonus, or the thing where the riders can't attack each other. I could see them getting rid of that for, like, someone's wish is they get rid of that. Like, maybe Buffa's wish, where he has the power to destroy all Kamen Riders. Maybe they twist that and they're like, okay, here's a Desire Grand Prix. You can all kill each other. So then we actually get riders starting to attack each other. So I do think, honestly, that they're going to keep up the Desire Grand Prix for a long time in the show. And they're just going to, like, totally change how it works now. Like, every other time someone wins or something like that. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, given how it's run by people, that they'll be like, hey, what if we change how the game is working right now? So how do I feel about a minigun or medic kit raise buckle? A minigun would be really cool. I don't know about a med kit. Medic kit would be kind of not very interesting as a raise buckle, I feel. But a minigun would be a pretty cool raise buckle, definitely, for sure. So, also, one other thing, too, about the Desire Grand Prix. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I love Geats so much, right? This is not a surprise, I feel. Donbrothers is really good, right? I love Donbrothers. I love keeping up with Donbrothers. I have, like, almost no problems with Donbrothers. But I just really love Geats. Like, definitely between the two shows airing right now, I would watch Geats way more than Donbrothers, just because I love all the theming, all the stuff they're doing with Geats, all the stories, the twists, the subversions. I'm here for all of it. Donbrothers, I am also here for all of it. I just like it better in Geats. I can't talk now. It's quite a time to be a fan of Rider and Sentai, at least for me, because I really love both of these shows. I have virtually no problems with either of them. It's just for Geats, I'm way more into everything that's happening. For Donbrothers, I'm also really into everything that's happening. It's like so complicated. It's like, I don't even know why I'm telling you guys it's this. I'm like telling you, I like this show more. These are both really good shows. I just like this one a little bit more. I like the toys, all the stuff that's going on more. I've also just realized that the Geats scarf, the gold scarf, has a little star on it. I didn't notice that until now. It has the little Muteki star on it. That's so cool. It's a nice little detail, but it's not just a gold scarf. It actually has a little detail on it. That's cool. What do I think? The Jamato Rider? Talked a bit more about that earlier, but very summed up. I really like it. It looks pretty cool, but I just really love the idea of having this monster rider. It's just a monster that looks like a rider, but it's wearing a belt as well. So, yeah, I think it's really cool. I can't wait to see it in the show. Have I come up with any Geats OCs? I will admit, I have been thinking about one. I haven't, like, really committed to anything, but definitely if I made one, like, actually committed to one, it would be a bunny rider. So it would be a bunny helmet, red bunny helmet, and the main buckle of the bunny rider would be like a robot raised buckle. And like, I'm not really sure how it would work like as a buckle in the toy, but I kind of like it to work like the like the monster buckle, where it's toggleable. Like maybe it's like a little robot and you have to insert the battery into the robot, and then it activates the buckle. But then if you want to do a finisher, you have to pull out the battery and then put it back in. I think that would be kind of neat as a buckle for a rider. Bunny Rider robot buckle. And then, I mean, I haven't really come up with a secondary buckle. It would just use boost, I assume, because that's kind of how things have been working. So, my only complaint with the buckles as toys is that I have no idea where to display on a wall or something. Yeah, they are kind of weird gimmicks to display. But I don't know. They're so unique. I really enjoy them. So, I mean, as you guys can tell, as I've told you guys, I will be buying all the DX buckles. I'm still just waiting for those US buckles, the US ones that I've purchased already, to make their way to here in the United States of the Americas. And then I can actually get the thing. So my bunny OC is the Duracell bunny. I never made that connection, but you're not really wrong. It is like the Duracell bunny. So it's a good point. Oh, actually, I do want to quickly talk about that. Did you guys see that Yuma Miyamoto is in Kamen Rider now? And that's so cool. She's in the Durandal, the Sabla Durandal special. She's just in there as a character. And there's literally no other reason she's in there other than the fact it's a Sabla special, and Sabla is so well known for being a fan of Majin that they just threw in Majin's voice actor into the special as a cameo role. But she has like a headliner credit. So I'm just over here as like, it's so cool you can make yourself a fan of the character. Make yourself so well known as a fan of the character, and you're in the show, that when they gave you your own special, they're like, hey, let's throw in the voice actress. So that's super cool. I'm really happy for them. And also it's super cool to me because it means Yuma Miyamoto has been in Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, and she's kind of an Ultraman. She's in SS Gridman, which is an Ultraman, but she has a page on the Ultraman wiki, so it's close. And she's been in Gundam, and she's been in Godzilla, so she's like, she's super powerful. Don't make her angry, guys. I would definitely not make her angry because she's cool. I like her. Anyways, yes, I am watching that special just for her. Is that count as a power-up for Geats with the golden scarf? Yes, this is technically a power-up because it's not just a golden scarf. He's got Magnum. I believe it's counted as a power-up because it's this is like the Dragonite Hunter of the show, where it's like a more powerful item, but it's not gonna last very long as a powerful item, but anyone can use it as a powerful item. So I imagine at some point this is gonna be used by someone as like their upgrade form, or as like their most powerful form, essentially, because there's no other buckles they can use. That's what I'm guessing. Might be wrong. But this is like, I guess, or Shining Hopper. It's like the Shining Hopper Dragonite Hunter of the show. So it's a power-up, but it's not a huge power-up. And I like that, visually you can look at it, it's not really a huge power-up. It is just the two suits that we've already seen on top of each other, and they threw a new scarf on it. But it still works. It looks more powerful, but it's also not that much more powerful. So praying this special gives Bandai an excuse to release the Caribidis book. He's such a minor kaijin, but I love him. Yeah, it is super weird they didn't release any of the... They stopped Megid book releases after, like, the first set. Or it was, I think, the second set. The first or second set. People, I guess, just did not buy them, so they just gave up. But they still made them in the show, so there was, like... None of the big book Megid had their books released at all. Then it got to the point then where the main the main generals got their own books, and those never saw releases. So since there's a big book in the special, maybe they'll release a bunch of faceplates, and then they'll also release the generals and their books. Who knows? With Bandai these days, you can't tell. They'll release something from 20 years ago, and they're like, hey, look, new release. So It's more powerful because two guns. That is an excellent point. Two guns have made this form incredibly powerful now. So well, with that, we've been going for quite a while, and we've talked about everything. So be sure, I guess I'll sign off here in a second. So if you guys have any last questions you want to ask, be sure to ask. Definitely be sure to ask, because I'll answer them right now. I do want to say though, but I'm not leaving, but I do want to point out, don't forget that tomorrow I'll be on Keza Henshin's channel with Marcos for the first episode of Toku Showdown. It'll be a lot of fun, so make sure you guys go check that out. It's on Keza Henshin's channel, so it's a live stream, but I believe you'll be able to, it'll stay up. So definitely be sure to tune in live if you can, but if you can't, don't worry about it. Just be sure to watch it. And then for this channel, for me, next videos I'm putting up previews from them on Patreon very soon, but and also, actually, yeah, just be sure to check out Patreon in general, because I'm going to put previews for the next 2 videos up on there. Once I'm done with those videos, they'll also be up early on Patreon. But for now, if you can't check me out on Patreon, be sure to just subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be uploading them here, of course. It'll be either the review of Vulcan Valkyrie or Sentai Potential Majiranger. One of those two will be coming first, and then the other will come second. So now your last questions. Now that I've got that all out of the way. Also, don't forget, actually, if you have more questions, I have I have Twitter, and I have Discord. Twitter is going crazy now, but I do still have Twitter. So you can check me out on Twitter. And of course, I have the Discord server, where there's a whole channel in the Discord server where you can ask me questions. So it's like the live stream, except you can't hear my voice, but it's all the time. So, kind of a dub. So, you want me to share the Bai link for Cross Saber? I don't think you can send links in the YouTube, but if you find a way to send it to me, then sure, you can send it to me. Have I played Team Fortress 2? I have never played Team Fortress 2. But I know of it, so. Is tomorrow superhero time? Yes, tomorrow is superhero time. I'm very excited. I gotta bring the W. I will bring the W. Marcos and I have agreed that I'm gonna beat Marcos. I'm just kidding. He hasn't agreed to that. Don't hurt me, Marcos. What is my favorite buckle and rider? Favorite buckle is definitely gonna be Beat right now. I really like the look of Beat. But in the fact that it has sounds, I love it. The fact that it has sounds, its own standbys, it's really cool. The sounds it makes are really cool as well. So definitely, Beat is my favorite. But Rider, I'm not really sure, because I really like all of them. I like Ace's mystery, but also his cockiness. I liked Kawa just being a normal dude. I thought that was nice. I really like Nago still. I honestly, I don't know. I really like Nago and Buffa a lot, for the fact they're just, like, they feel like normal Kamen Riders, I guess. Actually, Kawa as well, but for some, like, with Nago and Buffa, it feels like really different. It's just occurring, like, this, it's just occurring to me now that, like, we have our 4 main riders, and Geats is only playing really to just play the game, right? And we've seen with the other 4, Buffa's also the same. He's playing, he wants to win. But the other 3 kind of are in this thing where, especially you can see this last episode, where they get to the point where they're like, do I even play for my desire anymore? And at least with Nago, I really feel it with Nago, where she's like, I'm just playing for true love, and that's important to me, but the world's at stake here. So do I even, like, fight to continue for my desire, or do I fight for the rest of the world? I think that's a really interesting moral dilemma for the characters to have, and I think that's really cool. I think that's neat. I hope it gets. I'm expecting it'll get expanded up on. Like eventually, we'll have riders that are like, I don't want to fight for my desire. I just want to fight to save people now. So then Buffa kind of gives off that vibe too, where he wants to fight for his desire, but he's also like he doesn't want to do it badly. Like Mary was being a bad dude. So as for the other riders, actually I really like Punk Jack. As I said, I liked Punk Jack when he was just a silent dude. But now that we're actually getting his personality and stuff, he seems like a really interesting character. So obviously we haven't really done anything with that yet, so I can't really say he's my favorite, I feel. But I am very excited to see what he's going to do. And then as for the others that are dead and or retired, I mean, like, didn't really get anything on Ginpen. Dapon's kind of an asshole, but I like that Dapon uses Magnum. I think that's cool. Mary's crazy. Shiro, I don't know what I can say about Shiro. And Reta and Kato aren't even in the show yet, but I do like Reta as a woman. I think it's really cool that we can actually get another female rider in the show. Nago's gonna have another friend, even though Reta's probably gonna die like next episode or the episode after that. But it is nice to have another female rider in the show. So it's nice to have diversity. Diversity's cool. When are we getting? I was gonna say, when are we getting the gay rider? But I mean, Geats is already gay for Buffa and Keiwa, and by extension, those two are also gay. So, you know, Geats is very Geats is very diverse. What's the training I'm doing to beat Marcos? This live stream. This is my training. Excited for the SHF event later this month? Yes, because I'm ready to put on my clown makeup and hope for another Majin, or not another. I'm ready to hope for the Majin SH figure art and put on my clown makeup, because it's definitely not happening, but I can hope every time. SHF Muteki happened very soon, and I wasn't expecting it. Maybe Majin will happen soon. So we already have Zenkaiser, and Tukaiser. So, you know, we're close. Put on that clown makeup. Have I been keeping up with Kamen Rider Craft? It has Geats stuff now. I have not been keeping up with Kamen Rider Craft, but that's cool that it has Geats stuff now. I like Geats, so. Buffa also lost his man too. That's true. Buffa has his boyfriend, so you know. What? Shiro, no, not Shiro. Ginpen is the straightest character in Kamen Rider Geats because he's the only one who's actually married or has a female companion. Everyone else is a bit fruity, and that's perfectly fine. I'm happy for them. One thing actually I do want to point out about this, which is really interesting, is that in terms of the naming conventions, like the top half forms have the same name as their bottom half forms. So like like Ninja, or no, what, like Geats using Magnum Boost, right? If Boost is on top, it's now Boost Magnum. If Boost is on the bottom, it's now Magnum Boost. But if he's only using Boost on the top, it's called Boost form. If he's only using Boost on the bottom, it's still called Boost form. Same with Magnum. If Magnum's only on the top or only on the bottom, it's just called Magnum form. And you can see that in all these pictures with Geats using Boost, Magnum, Zombie, and Ninja, it has the same name. Like it's just the same name. I think that's kind of interesting. That's like they're two different forms, but they have the same name. That's really funny. Same with Nago. You can see Nago Beat. If she's only using Beat on the bottom or only using Beat on the top, it's just called Beat form. It's Nago Beat. So I think that's kind of funny. Did I know that the chain array raise weapon is redecoed from SD World's chain weapon, thus making it the first raise weapon redecoed from something other than Kamen Rider? I did know that. And I think it's kind of weird, but it's kind of like, it's whatever. It's just a generic chain weapon that only appeared twice. It only appeared once in Zenkaiser. It's only appeared twice in here, so. I will admit, that's like a very, very minor nitpick I have. And it's like, in Geats, and it's like, I feel the armed buckles aren't being used as diverse as they could be. not diverse. I feel like they're not using them as much as they could be, because like we only saw Chainray once, right? Like it would have been, or twice in 2 episodes. So it could have been nice, like, if once Mary was disqualified or retired, now Buffa used Chainray, and like in the next episode we could see Buffa Chainray just once. We see him using Chainray and it's fine. But it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he got Chainray from Mary. Or like Waters disappeared after Buffa used it. After Buffa used it like once, and then after he started using Magnum, Water has disappeared, Shield has disappeared, Arrow, as far as we know, has disappeared because we don't see anyone using it in the next round. Like in the next round, all we've seen is Propeller is the only armed weapon so far, and we know we're gonna get Drill at least. So it's like a minor nitpick, but I kind of wish that we would have gotten more armed buckles, especially to just like the bottom parts. Like in the final round of the DGP, Nago kept going into just Claw, and it's like, girl, you have Hammer. You used Hammer. Literally in this picture, we see that she's used Claw Hammer. So it's like, what happened? Why did you stop? Why don't you double up on the mini buckles? And same thing in the final round, where she just used Propeller, and it's like, you have Claw and Hammer. Why don't you use either of those? So that's like a very minor nitpick. It's like, I feel like the mini buckles are definitely being used well. Like, it's not like, this isn't a complaint where I feel like they're not using the gimmicks well in the show. It's just like, I feel like you could do a little bit more with that, just to show us like these are power-ups or just like game items in the show. Like maybe next episode we're gonna see them all. They're gonna get Water, they're gonna get Shield, they're gonna get Arrow again, but they're only gonna use Propeller because it's the new toy, and that's fine. But I feel like it's a bit annoying. It's like, oh, where are the mini buckles going? Like, why? Then also, why aren't you guys using them? Like, you could use Beat and Propeller. I mean, I assume she doesn't have anything but Beat, but it's like you could use some of the gimmicks. Oh, that's true. Geats did take Hammer from Nago, but again, it's like that's a good point. But still, in the end, Nago had Claw and Propeller, so it's like she could have used Claw and Propeller. So yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. Geats is still an incredible show. And with that, I think we're gonna leave it at that. we're gonna leave it at the random Geats rant. So thank you guys for showing up to this live stream. It was a lot of fun catching up with everything. I hope that I can get some new videos out soon. No promises because I'm very busy lately. But be sure to check me out on Tokusatsu Showdown. Be sure you're subscribed for all of my future videos once I do actually finally make a video. Thank you, Bumblebee123 Stop Motion. They say they like my videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. And with that, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.